doing today? Monday afternoon. What's going on with you, Reezy?
Man, another wonderful day out here. Ready to talk to the people again.
Oh,
Trying to make sense of this sports world we got.
yeah, so we're gonna do our best to make sense of that for y'all today. So welcome to another exciting episode of Ball Heads. So I guess we can dive into these Cavaliers, huh?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Let's get straight to it.
First off, you know what? Listen, I'm a man. I can admit when I'm wrong. And I said there was absolutely no way the Kings was gonna lose this game. Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. They went on out that night and lost that game. I guess that's why we play the game, right? Because like, what do I know? I could listen. I don't know. I guess they spent all their energy beating Golden State. I don't know, bro.
I
But without
mean,
a Zionless Pelicans team. But hey,
it, it-
I just want
you
to,
know,
let
and that's
America know that I know I got it wrong. Yeah,
and
cool with
but
that.
that's why we play the game.
Okay.
That's why they still got to take to the court. Like everything
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
paper, everything look good, everything look great. You still got to play the game.
Right. Still got to play
Um,
the game. I couldn't believe it. I was watching it like this is insane. Like, and even De'Aaron Fox is 30 points. He scored 30, but it was like some of them every telling you about.
yeah.
Yeah, they didn't
It's
have
when
no
everything
impact on the game. So
everything already decided at that
yeah,
point.
it was right. Now these Cavaliers though.
Hmm.
So moving on to these Cavaliers. Listen, they doing exactly what I thought that they would do. You know, they
Right.
handling this team. Every time Orlando look like they about to make a little run or something, they're gonna push forward and make a game out of it. They just step up and put their foot further on their neck, and that's gonna happen because we just simply a better team than Orlando by far. It's not even a they're not in our bracket for real. So that's what we're saying right now, you know. And as long as, like I say, it's not even a thing if Donovan or Darius Garland play together. Like I said before, like they seem to do better when they play separately anyway. But as of right now, everybody healthy, thank God, and we'll see how this, you know, we'll see what happens in the next round because, like I said, it's not that we're not talented. It's just that our bigs aren't big, and that is a huge issue. So when we run up to somebody, run up against people who have
Hmm.
a legitimate big that can do something, and they got a point guard who can score, a third, somebody coming off the bench, that's just too much for us to handle. We can't. Our bigs just get out big. So
So you think the Cavs gonna be clear as long as they don't play like a superior center?
yeah, as long as they don't play like if we don't get the Knicks next,
What do you
if
mean
we
if
get
we
the
do get
Knicks
the
next,
Knicks?
if we get the Knicks next, I don't know if we're gonna beat the Knicks because they got a couple of big dudes. They ain't
Mm.
just got the one. They got Hartenstein. You know what I'm saying? They got a couple big dudes, and that's a problem for us down there. Now,
Uh,
oddly enough, if we luck up and get Philly, if Philly make it out of this series with the Knicks, which I don't know, man. It really all depends on what Embiid can give you because he like 80% of himself, and it looked bad, man. But I don't know if the Knicks can pull it. I mean, if Philly can pull it out, and we end up playing Philly next, I give us a great better chance of beating Philly than I do beating the Knicks. We can beat Philly with a healthy Embiid
mm, okay.
because oddly enough, we bigger than they are. They just got Embiid. He can't do it by himself. He can't deal with Mobley and Allen because they move around. They ain't even like I say, they're not typical big guys. They ain't banging up against him and all, all hard on his body. They playing that for this game that he want to play.
Right.
But it's going to be two of them. So I think we fare better versus Philly than we do the Knicks.
What we gonna do about Mobley and Allen and this whole diet they on, man? Because from what I heard, they just need a couple cheeseburgers, maybe a few steaks.
Listen,
let's take them to Burger King.
I wish it was that simple. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think these dudes been small dudes their whole life and, trying to put on weight. Like, I can actually see that Mobley has put on some weight and you can tell he's been in the gym. You know what I'm saying? And it's work. Listen, he better than he was last year. He looks stronger than he did last year, which is let me know that he at least working on it. So it's just going right. And we just got to wait, because eventually he will get, but right now they still young though. Got to think. I know Jared Allen looked like he played in the 60s, but honestly, he like 25 or something like that.
Yeah, don't do that, man, like that.
No, legitly. Dude is like 25 years old. I'm not even making that up, y'all. I think he's like 25 years old. Like, so, yeah. I mean,
so you still, so for the Cavs series, you still standing by your 4-1 prediction?
I still stand by 4-1.
Okay.
And that's best case scenario that's if Orlando happen to sneak one in Orlando or something. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I really believe if the Cavs stay focused, this 4-0. We get them out early.
Okay. What about trying to think of the other games in the Eastern Conference?
Well, we talk about the Knicks and the Philly game.
Yeah,
the Knicks and the Philly, they played game 2 tonight as well. The Knicks is up 1-0. But like I said, it's the Embiid thing. Like, Philly still almost rallied and came back and snuck one off. But, they had like dudes like Josh Hart. He hit a whole bunch of late threes, and that kind of propelled them to their victory. But, like I said, and beating them, they still almost won that game. Maxi's playing out his mind. Embiid gonna beat Embiid if Embiid can beat Embiid. This is why this is all predicated on what Embiid can do. If he can stay healthy or play, I don't know. He just got to be able to play a little bit longer than because he played like half and half. Like, he had a nice little half. Then he tried to do that dunk off the backboard, hurt his knee, went out, came back in. He played for like another 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And if he can string together the entire game, you know what I'm saying? I really think they can beat the Knicks. So that's how we might end up getting Philly. But as it stands right now, the Knicks is up. Listen, Jalen Brunson didn't really have a good game for the Knicks either. He shot horrible. I think he was like 8 for 20 or something like that. I don't expect him to be 8 for 20 again either. So it's going to be an interesting series. So.
Now that I'm thinking about it, what do you think Jalen Brunson gonna be able to carry the Knicks in this playoff run the way he did last year?
I don't. And I think they're missing Julius Randle. Like, Julius Randle not playing this year, you know what I'm saying? That hurt a little bit because it requires, Brunson to take on so much of the offensive side of the game. And it's just a lot. And he's not a huge guard, you know what I mean? Not a big guard, you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Is he a more natural scorer, or is he more of like a,
definitely he's definitely a natural scorer.
He's a walking bucket.
He is.
Okay.
He is. He definitely he is very 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 skilled. He's to the rack. Got a nice jumper. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, and he left-handed, so you got that working for him. Look, the guy he hard to defend. He is, but he by himself right now for real. They got Owen Ivy, but I don't know. I think they're missing Julius Randle.
Okay. All right. Let me get your thoughts on this. How do you feel about the Celtics blowing out the Heat?
Expected, maybe.
Expected, huh?
Yeah.
I thought the Heat would go. I thought the Heat would win this one like 4-2. So see that first game.
No, I think. Listen, I think the Heat gonna get this. This is gonna be a really good series. But it's gonna be a series. I don't think it's gonna be 4-2, 4-1. I think they might go all 7.
All 7. Okay.
They might go all 7. And ultimately, I don't know. I think Boston should pull this out. I don't trust Boston in the playoffs. I don't. But if we're just talking about it and they ain't did it yet, I guess the smart money would be to go on Boston. But I won't be surprised if it all falls to the waistline. I won't. So, but as it stands, they up 1-0. So,
okay. All right.
The Bucks. Yeah. The Bucks is up 1-0.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they beat on the Pacers.
And they didn't have Giannis, right?
No, without Giannis.
Yep.
And Dame put up 35 in the first half, 0 points in the second half. 0.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't think he can sustain carrying this team offensively. Even though Chris Middleton gave you 22 points as well that game. You know what I'm saying? I still don't think it's just not enough. You need that Giannis. You need Giannis there because Giannis being there, not only do he give you that offensive production, but he requires attention. So a lot of times, as soon as he got the ball, all eyes on him.
Yeah.
And it frees up people for him, like Dame, to come off a cut or anything like that. But with no presence of Giannis, you know what I'm saying? I believe it'll be easier to adjust. Like Dame's gonna get hot at some point in time, but he's gonna get cold too, because that happens. Like we've seen him in his career, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Dame time ain't always Dame time. Sometimes it is the watch stop. I've seen it happen. So
well, Milwaukee's one of those weird teams right now where it's like, okay, this looks weird when it's like everybody's butting heads when they all on the court, but then as soon as one person's gone, it's like, oh, that looks smooth. This like it's working. So they got to figure that out still. Like, what's we doing wrong when we got everybody together that look this much better when somebody's missing? They got to figure that out because although that might be a good thing, that's still a problem.
I don't know if it's a problem as long as it's producing wins, right?
Well, yeah, but it don't become a problem.
It don't become a problem until them L's pop up.
I mean, but if the L's start popping up because everybody got healthy and everybody playing, that don't sound like, because that's what you want when it comes time for the real series.
Yeah, it sounds awkward. It do. It sounds weird. I don't know, but do it though. Like, listen, I always say, like, I believe, like, that's why I believe it's the gift and the curse for putting all these super teams together, because you put so much talent on one team. There's only one ball. Right. So if this guy is being special, you got 4 other guys who just could be spectators.
Right.
And you know how that works for a psyche in somebody, especially somebody who's used to being the man. They used to being dominant. Like, they got the ball. It's the game on the line. You know the ball coming to them. But now they on a team where this ball can go to anybody in the last second. I might not even touch the ball.
Yeah.
So I think that's the tug of war. And like I say, it's the gift and the curse of putting these super teams together.
I agree. I mean, that was the initial that was the initial problem with LeBron's Heat, right? Like,
it was.
It's only one ball. Like, all right, y'all got 3 All-Stars, but
right, because nobody thought this all the way through. Like,
yeah.
Oh well, but if he doing this, then what can he be doing?
And, that's why you see some things like they like, all right, well, how about he lead the second team? When these two go sit down for a rest, we had him come in. That's when he started going off on the second tier dude.
And at least that's how it's supposed to be in theory.
In theory,
right?
yeah. But now this dude Saudi that he coming off the bench.
They go that psyche I was about to start breaking in.
Yeah, I ain't supposed to be.
He ain't happy with that. So now he not performing like that, and it seems to clash a lot.
Right.
You know, like the Mavs and the Clippers. Like the Clippers manhandled the Mavs, right? Because it seemed like Luka scored in the first half and Kyrie scored in the second half. And they can't figure out how to coexist and score at the same time.
I mean, well, they both kind of want to bring the ball up the floor. They got a ball handler issue.
Yeah, well, they got the same. Yeah, I believe they got the same player issue. That's why I brought them up. It's because I think they're going through the same thing. Like this is what I'm saying. Like, and on paper, it'd be like, oh, you got this whole backcourt. It's not like baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like you get all these hitters on a baseball squad, excellent, because everybody get a turn at bat.
Right.
This ain't like that.
Right.
This is basketball.
Yeah.
Like, and if this dude is scoring 45 points, you got to be happy with 17 points, even though you used to scoring 32.
Well, isn't it supposed to be like, point guard and a shooting guard? Shouldn't they both, in theory, be able to coexist? Shouldn't it just be Luka bring the ball up and Kyrie's a catch and shoot type of guy?
Okay,
is that not Kyrie's type of game?
Or Luka's? I mean, yeah, Luka and Kyrie, they're both like shooting guards. They're not point guards. And everybody want to make Kyrie a point guard, but listen.
No, I thought Luka was a point guard.
Nah.
No.
Luka like a 3. Luka like a small forward.
Okay.
But it's the ball dominance part. Like, I don't know. Now it's hard to, like I said, it's only one ball. When you got these kind of ball dominant people on one team, it's hard to make it work. It just is. But like I say, the Mavs they're down 0-1. They play tomorrow night. The Suns and the T-Wolves. Told you. Hey, T-Wolves whooped on the Suns. And listen, they are prime example. They got all these people all play the same damn position. Now look, and when it comes, that's what I'm just saying. Through the regular season, all teams that aren't fundamentally built correctly, they all look good in the regular season. They real flashy. That's what they're made for. They made they made to look good during the regular season. But when it comes down to it, like playoff time, like when you really need it, you know what I'm saying? You can't depend on them because it's only for hot dog and flashing purposes.
So all right, well, let me throw a hypothetical trade at you. Let's say Phoenix trades Kevin Durant to Dallas for Kyrie. Would that do anything?
No.
Because Luka's still more of a forward. You're still ain't about that. He's more of a.
Yeah. So you would need I don't know, man. Karl Anthony Towns. Get Karl Anthony Towns and put him over there with Luka.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's a big dude who gonna, you know what I'm saying, take rebounds, dunk. Even though he can hit 3, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got to be pulling the ball up the court. He can wait on it to come to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
But like, what is Kyrie gonna do while he ain't got the ball? Because he ain't playing real good D.
Nah, he ain't about to.
Right. So what did he do? He just chilling.
Yeah, he just chilling. He ain't running around. He ain't like the old Ray Allen. He just running people to death the whole time. He ain't got the ball.
Right. He's not coming off screens trying to get open and shit like that. No. He like, just pass me the ball, bro. That's where he at with it.
All he doing is calling for it while he ain't got it. Hey,
That's it.
I'm open. Hey.
But listen, that again, that's the gift and the curse of having all these superstars on one team.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when I was growing up, I sound like old dude, but everybody had like a role. Like, you know what I'm saying? You knew everybody's role.
Right.
Right. You knew who Mark, all right, so Mark Price do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Ron Harper do this. Larry Nance did this. Brad Doherty did this. You know what I'm saying? It was simple.
Yeah.
It was simple. Now, so just and that's how for me, that's why I look at it like, yeah, this shouldn't work. That would be like if I had 3 Mark Prices. So in theory, you like, oh, y'all gonna be shooting the hell out the ball. But how can we do that? Only one person can shoot at a time.
So now all the Mark Prices also got to get good at passing. Now they got to diversify that skill set
other than just shooting.
Yeah. Okay.
Like playing defense or something.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, like we ain't about to get that out of Kyrie.
Right. You're not.
So yeah. But so as a result, but no. But the Suns and these T-Wolves, hey man, Anthony Edwards, this young dude is an animal, man. Not only did he give it to him, but he was talking mess in KD's face, man, as he walked back, letting him have it. Yeah. I said, oh, it's just beef all over the place. It's just everywhere. It's everywhere. And this whole rap beef, y'all, I got something to show y'all. I'm gonna later on. We got time towards the end of the show. I'm gonna show y'all what I got. I got a theory on all this so-called rap beef.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this Kendrick Lamar and Drake and Rick Ross. Yeah. And now Kanye West then joined in. You got Chris Brown going at Quavo.
Yeah, Quavo.
Yeah. So yeah, towards the end of the show, we got time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna share my theory with y'all. All right. Okay. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's a recap on the NBA playoffs for right now. Let me see. We got the Mavs playing tomorrow. They play the Clippers tomorrow. The Bucks and the Pacers play tomorrow, and the Suns and the T-Wolves play tomorrow.
You know, it is another game that we still didn't touch on.
Who?
The Lakers and the Nuggets. King James.
All right, so yeah, we didn't talk on that one. They play tonight too. Game 2. But listen, I'm expecting this to be a closer game, if not for LeBron and them to win. Now, I know don't nobody even give them a shot at winning one game, much less this series. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, I don't know, if you're from Cleveland or Miami or LA, you should know the worst thing you want to do is tell LeBron that it's impossible for him to do this. Because it was impossible for us to beat Golden State.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember how impossible that was? Like, there's no way that we can beat them. Remember that?
You're talking about the 73-9 team, right?
That team right there.
We ain't got no shot.
The best team ever. Let everybody else say it was the best team ever. And I'm just telling you, like, LeBron is real calculated when it comes to the playoffs and these games. And for some reason, listen, I think this is just another one of my theories, but I think he let game 1 be like a teaching moment. So he can see, all right, well, what do they, what their strengths is, what they plan on leaning towards and everything like that. And that's how he dissects you. He give you game 1, I believe. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just going to let this play out how it play out. But by game 2,
he either came
a whole nother animal. I just think they'd be right. And I don't think that D'Angelo Russell will have the kind of game that he had yesterday. or night before last. You know, he was horrible. He was another 6 for 23 or something like that. Now, Bron had 27.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis had 32 and 15. Like, you know, they came to hoop. But they need the other guy.
They need all their role players to role play.
Right. Because for me, if Anthony Davis is giving you 32 and 15 and Bron giving you 27, that'll cancel out Jokic and Murray. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a wash right there because they like right here. That's why you need these other guys to step up. And listen, I don't know, man. Listen, I don't know how Bron do it. I don't know what. I ain't never been a part of one of these speeches. All I know is in game 2, when the dude come out, he make it happen.
All right.
So they down 0-1 right now, and it looks hopeless. But I'm telling you, that's. I still think they can make a series out of this. I really do. Because I believe that the Lakers have a better overall team.
All right.
And, you know, I know Jokic, they're the defending champs, and you know they've been together for, you know, a lot of years. But I don't know. For my money, if you gave me this roster, you're looking at these two rosters, you can't tell me that the one with Anthony Davis, LeBron James, D'Angelo Russell, Herky-Maka, how do you pronounce that boy's name? Like all these dudes, Austin Reeves, like really? And you would take, I just don't, for me, I just don't see that. I think the best thing they got going for them is Jokic.
That's true. What do you make of the stat of, like, you know, Anthony Davis versus, you know, all the elite centers as of recently? He's like 0 of 9 or whatever.
Listen, it ain't just Anthony Davis playing these centers. That's why I make it that stat.
Okay.
It ain't like it's just Anthony Davis. You know, and he just did 32 and 15 and they lost.
He said, "Don't bring me up in this shit."
Yeah, I mean, clearly we got, you know, as a team, we got some issues.
Yeah, he got to come out like Cam Newton.
It can't be Anthony Davis all the time, not with 32 and 15 and they lose.
Right.
Like, we're going to have to look elsewhere. And that's stat about, oh, you know, he 0 and 9 against, like, And who is the elite? See, and these be the things. See, these is why I hate numbers. I love numbers, actually. I hate the way the people use them, like gun, you know. So, like, he 0 and 9 against these centers. Like, what elite centers? Who would they be? Give me 9 elite centers other than Anthony Davis.
Well, no. It's like him against Jokic, Sabonis from the Kings,
Embiid.
Yeah, and Embiid. His last, you know, few games against those three, he's like 0 and 9 or 0 and 10. Right. Yeah, those are guys. It ain't none of them. It's those
that's a reach.
Playing on the loop.
That's what they're doing. That's a reach. That's just, I don't know. Yeah, and listen, I'll keep it a buck. Anthony Davis has not showed up in a lot of situations. All right, there's been multiple situations where they needed him to put up 35 and 32 and 15, and no PPI. It has happened, but this whole he 0 for 9 against all the others, man, that's a ridiculous stat, I believe. Okay. I think that's a ridiculous stat. Like, again, he's not just playing these people by himself, right? It's a team sport.
It's a team sport.
So
there's more people out there than just him.
You would think. But yeah, so I was trying to skip past the Lakers' little loss. I was heartbreaking. My son wouldn't let it go. So yeah, Lakers are down 0-1. Again, they play game 2 tonight at 10 o'clock. So after the Cavs get they 2-0, I'm gonna try to check the game out, see what I got on a to-do for this evening. But I think that covers everything for the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, I think
So you called me earlier, told me that you wanted to revisit this Ben Roethlisberger. All my Cleveland Browns fans, my sincere apology for this next segment. Okay, this was not something that I chose to do. I didn't wake up and choose violence this morning. My son did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, he did this. So you want to revisit this whole Ben Roethlisberger, him being
well, he just a tad bit overrated. He just one of those guys that we look at with a bit of retrospect, and we want to give him, probably more flowers than what he actually deserved for the success of his team. Right.
wow.
So, and this is just something that's happening with the league moving to be more of a quarterback centric league.
Mm-hmm.
So of course now when we look at old teams, we're like, oh well, they had Big Ben and they had whoever. It's one of those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
But since this isn't happening to everybody on a large scale, it's happening to a few select guys. I try to be more. I try to keep a clear head. Play the middle, watch what happens, and figure out is he getting his just desserts, or is he getting his desserts too? He got his dessert and he got his dessert. Like, hold on, bro, how you get everybody desserts? So I think Ben is one of these guys who we look at in retrospect, and because he became a made man so early in his career, in which he is a made man. He don't got one ring, he got 2 rings.
You breaking up.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you. So we look at him in retrospect, and what else?
Internet connection. Yeah, we look at him in retrospect, and we assign to him, more credit than what he deserved for the success of the teams he was on. So this is a product of him having 2 rings so early on in his career that he became made so early, and he didn't have a Russell Wilson play. I'm like, I remember last time I talked to you about this in private. I compared the start of Russell Wilson career and the start of Ben Roethlisberger career to kind of very similar early on paths, except they both got their early Super Bowl in their second year. Had a great defense, of course, but nonetheless, he led the offense, won the Super Bowl. So you got to give him all the credit for that. And then when it came to their second Super Bowl, it came down to a final drive at the end of the game. And of course, we all know the history. Ben made a nice touch pass in the corner of the end zone to Santonio Holmes. That was, a heroic game-winning play. And Russell Wilson, of course, was trying to do the same thing, bring a team down in the last minutes, and his final pass in the end zone actually got intercepted. So it's just those.
Listen, no, you don't get to do that. Listen, you don't get to go. Yeah, we did the same thing, except for Miles got intercepted. That means we didn't do the same thing.
No, they didn't do the same thing.
And that's why this guy deserves flowers and this guy doesn't, because his was intercepted and his was not. His was a touchdown.
His was a touchdown.
Okay, so this whole all right.
Wait, hold on. So would you say it's not fair to compare the start of their careers?
I would say it's not. Listen. No, you can, if you want to compare the start of their careers. Fine. Like I don't believe that I don't know. To me, no, you can't compare their. I don't think you can compare Russell Wilson and Ben Roethlisberger's career at all. Because for my money, oh my God, I can't believe this guy making me say this. I am going to pick Ben. I'm on Ben's side on this. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, and so, right. You make this comparisons like, oh, well, the only thing that happens is that, oh, this guy's got intercepted and this one didn't. Well, that makes the whole story. That's why we have like good people and we have like bad people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his career was good. This one was not so good. That's why this, being shuffled around the NFL, this guy finished with one team, right?
Right.
Look, all right. So this dude, Ben, and you keep saying in retrospect, as if we're looking back on Ben's career and now we're saying he's elite and he's all of these things. We said all of this while he was playing. You was fearful of Pittsburgh. No one thought Pittsburgh was just a pushover or we hope Ben throw it 50 times so we could, because that was never the case. We've always looked at Ben in the same light as we look at Ben today. So I don't know why this whole you saying like it's a retrospect thing. Like, we wasn't talking about him the same way as if when he was here. And us being from the me being the AFC, me playing Ben twice here. Like, listen, we know that Ben is tough as nails. Accurate, make all the throws, can scramble, get out of tackles. Like, I don't understand why is them saying that he's just one of the greatest quarterbacks, like giving him too many flowers. No one's saying that he's the GOAT. He ain't even in like top 3 conversation. But he's not slouch.
Is he top 10?
I don't know. I never even thought about where I would rank him overall. Like, but off the top of my head, yeah, I would think he would be top 10. Maybe. I don't know. That top 10 is getting crowded right now.
Yeah, it is. I'll give you that.
Because I think CJ, before it's all over and said and done, I think CJ Stroud going to be up there. I know Pat Mahomes there. You know what I'm saying? So where are we putting Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning, Tom Brady?
Well, my thing.
And just one more thing. In that era, speaking of those people, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Ben Roethlisberger, like he was in that conversation. Like he wasn't like no slouch.
Well, that's just because Tom Brady took the air out of so many other people that it's such a short conversation that a guy who won 2 Super Bowls still got to make it on the list somewhere.
No, that ain't what I said. See, the whole 2 Super Bowl things, I never even brought up. No need for me to bring those up. Because, like I said, every time you play Ben Roethlisberger, except for like towards the end of the career, where you're like, oh, yeah, he just, Ben, you can tell. Hard to get the ball up the field. Like this dude, like, okay, yeah, it's time to sit down. Other than them last 2 years, you wasn't happy to play Ben Roethlisberger. That's all I'm saying. Like, he's never been a slouch. And I don't think he's receiving too much praise. I don't. Listen, I'm telling you, he got career passing. He got 64,088 yards. That's 5th all time. Touchdowns, he got 418 touchdowns. That's 8th all time. Completions, he got 5,440 completions. That's 5th all time. And that's with a minimum of 1,500 attempts. The whole reason why the 1,500 attempt thing is prevalent because that means he's there. He played a game. He ain't always hurt on you, so he's reliable on top of everything else. And if you want to, since you brought him up a couple times, he got 2 rings. So I don't think I think it's just doing him a disservice to
I think,
you know, belittle his accomplishments because you want to group him with your real problem. Because your real problem ain't Ben Roethlisberger. Your real problem is Josh Allen. So you trying to group him. You trying to group him with somebody. And here's the thing: your whole argument that makes Josh Allen who he is, it don't even work for Ben because Ben got 2 rings.
yeah, but all right. So here's what I'm gonna say to respond to this. This is what I keep saying. The thing about Ben Roethlisberger is he became a made man so early in his career. He did win those Super Bowls, and you cannot take that away from him. And I'm not trying to take that away from him. I'm trying to put the things I'm trying to put it in context, right?
Okay.
So when Ben was winning his Super Bowls, the Steelers' defense was number 1, and he was just he was more of a game manager. He wasn't like taking the game over with all his wild pass attempts. He was just playing within the defense.
So you're talking about like his rookie year and his second year,
and even the Super Bowl against the Cardinals. I would still say he was still more of a game manager during that year.
No, that's retrospect. That you looking back and I don't know some stat or something made you say that because the last thing no one's ever in the history of the NFL referred to Ben Roethlisberger. Stop it. As a game manager, Ben Roethlisberger. And to the point in his first couple of years, you know what? And this is again what separates. Like you got to be able to do these things because when he got there, they still had the Bus and Potomalu and Hines Ward. So his job at that point wasn't to take it over, to be the focal point. It was to not mess it up, and he was able to do that.
Yeah, that's my point. That's the game manager point.
Wait. No, that's what I'm saying though. Wait. You can't give him a knock for being able to do his job because it's a lot of people who can't do that. And that's why they don't get to this point. But that was his first 2 years. Past that, Ben Roethlisberger has never been a game manager.
All right, a couple things. I didn't knock him. This is in the minds of other people feeling like the word game manager is overrated.
You're saying he overrated. And the only reason you would be calling him a game manager is to support that notion. So yeah, that's you doing that.
I don't feel like it's a knock if it's true. We just went over how he wasn't. His job was to just not mess it up. Like I don't feel like that's a knock saying that he was a game manager.
His first 2 years, listen. He's a rookie coming in, but to his point, he didn't mess it up, though.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
But after that point, he has been anything but a game manager because without Ben Roethlisberger, they don't win that Cardinal game. Any quarterback had went in there and won that game. If Ben Roethlisberger would have went out that game, the Cardinals win that game. See, and that's why a game manager is that's why it's such a bad thing because what you're doing is taking away from the specialness that is that dude and saying like, oh, anybody could have played that game.
I don't even think that. I don't think anybody can be a game manager.
That defense wasn't that.
I don't know. That defense is pretty awesome.
Listen, I don't know.
Here's my thing about this.
I don't know, but I do know this.
He was a made man early on.
I don't believe
he got his respect up front. You know when Ben became an elite passer? It's when they stopped. It's when they wasn't win the Super Bowls no more. It's when they got it. It was after it was emphasis on certain rules, and they had drafted Antonio Brown. Ben was not an elite passer before Antonio Brown being on the Steelers. He was not in high regard. He didn't have like. You said what?
No, I'm listening. So he didn't have a high regard.
Yeah, I'm saying
of being a passer until Antonio Brown got there.
No, he was in the top tier in passing categories and passing stats and things like that until after Antonio Brown started becoming Antonio Brown for the Steelers. Before then, he gave you like regular numbers. That's what I'm saying. He gave you like game manager numbers, and that's not to say he wasn't he wasn't putting up like 500 passing yards back in 2007. He wasn't doing that. Those were things that happened later on when the team got better around him or the offense got better around him. And so I just think that again, because he's
never had less than a 2,000 yard season passing.
That's but 2,000 yards isn't like a lot.
No, all I'm saying is that's just his minimum. His ceiling is like 5,000. He didn't have his I think his top passing year was like 5,500 or something like that. Listen, man, I ain't never heard of Ben Roethlisberger being referred to as a game manager. Like, granted, I give you the first 2 years, I give it to you. You know what I'm saying? And really more like the first year, because the second year, I think he did a lot more. I think he did a lot more for the team than just being a game manager in the second year. Definitely every year after that. The Steelers are not feared like they have been feared if Ben Roethlisberger is not their quarterback. When you find out that Ben is hurt and he's not playing, you happy.
Well, I feel like that's just because they haven't gotten, another decent quarterback. Like, I feel I put LSU and the Steelers in the same category to where they're always just a quarterback away. They got the defense, they got the run game. You feel me? They got pretty good wide receivers. They always just a quarterback away. I put the Steelers in the Steelers, LSU, and like the 49ers. Always just a quarterback away. So, yeah, I just one thing that would make me feel a lot better about what we're talking about here is if I would have seen Ben get a chance to play for a different team and see how he performed outside of that Steelers system. That would have did a world for me personally. But
the overrating part is what I got a problem with. I'm trying to see, like,
because all right,
he doesn't deserve his rank.
No. If you will say, well, he was a winner. At every point in his career, he was winning, and he got that. He was a W. I'd be like, okay, yeah, Ben is a winner. Okay. But when we put him into the category of an elite passer, when literally his thing for the first 10 years of his career was he doesn't do the easy stuff. He got to shake somebody off and make it difficult, and then throw a bomb. It's like, all right, okay, like, so
I don't recall this being Ben Roethlisberger though.
No, that was definitely Ben. He said like, why would I want to just do a 5-yard square out? I could when I could hold the ball and push the ball downfield, son. Like that's the whole thing about him, shaking off sacks and stuff and holding the ball and learning what he got to.
But
it's funny.
Why did that take him out of the passing elite category?
Well, because because at that point you're more of a playmaker. You're more of like that sounds like Russell Wilson to me.
You
right?
No. You're a playmaker because you're throwing the ball though, right? And listen, Ben can make all the throws. There's no throw where he is like struggling. Like, oh, you can beat him if you keep him to these short to mid throws. That was never said about Ben. There's no
he just didn't want to.
that this guy can't make.
He just didn't. He just chose not to.
He made him. What do you mean? I don't know. I have no idea where this Ben Roethlisberger he's limited in throwing thing came from. I've never ever heard that about Ben Roethlisberger.
I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm saying he chose not to. I'm not saying that it's against his skill set, and he could have always just dropped back 5 yards, just 5 yard score out. He literally said, "Yeah, that's boring. You know, I'd rather, you know, make a play, and you know, that's more of an exciting game."
I'm just feeling. I'm that part. I get it, but I fail to see how that takes him out of the elite category. I don't see how that takes away from his throwing ability. See, because my thing for Russell Wilson is that he do have limitations with his throwing. That's what takes him out of being an elite quarterback. I don't think Ben has those. Now, you're saying that because he chose to do a more difficult route, you're comparing him and Russell Wilson. Like Russell Wilson does it out of necessity. You don't have a choice. Ben enjoyed doing it. From your statement, your quote.
Yeah.
So I don't see how that, takes him out of the realm of elite quarterback. But I will. I believe this is what I got something for you. Is what we actually talking about. I believe that's what we're talking about.
Chris says Josh Allen is arguably the most talented quarterback in the NFL history.
Yes, that's what they
said.
I'm
sorry, in the history of football.
In the history of football. Yes. So, yeah. I believe that's what we actually talking about.
Like, what are we doing here? What is this? Like, listen. And this is where I get the name of somebody who actually dislikes Josh Allen, which I don't. He might be an awesome guy. I might want to go to a party with him. Okay, he might be cool in that regard. Huh? Yeah. I believe, he might be a good person in that regard. Here's my thing about this. We talk about Josh Allen as if he was actually Patrick Mahomes. That if I didn't watch football the last few years, just based off the way people talk about Josh Allen, I would say, oh man, he got like 3 MVPs straight, right? He don't got a single MVP? Not one? Oh.
Not one.
Oh, he been winning the Super Bowl every year since he joined up in the no? He ain't, oh. But he been going to the Super Bowls at least. He probably did like the old Bills, took him to 4 straight Super Bowls, actually. The way, because look, you see, look at this hype around Josh Allen. No, he hasn't been to a Super Bowl. So when people are talking about him in these regards, what are they really hanging their hat on? Well, you got to understand that it's not because he's not talented. He's awesome. It's just, his team hasn't made it over the hump. And look at all these people around them, and they gave up all these points to the Chiefs this one time. Like, when we talk about this Josh Allen thing, it becomes look how good he is. Look how good he is. Then you ask, well, okay, why do you say he's so good? He's like, bro, like I guess for most people, Josh Allen passed the eye test so far and beyond. That's like all the actual on-field accomplishments becomes, that just becomes an add-on to the resume. That's not the resume itself. That's just something else that he, something else he put on his jacket. But he already this guy right here, and he can do this. I know he hasn't won the Super Bowl yet, but trust me, it's a trust me, bro thing. It's not, he don't got to trust me. He can do it though. So, and that's where I get frustrated personally because I'm gonna give you a name. You tell me who was better, Josh Allen or Cam Newton?
Yeah.
Who do you think was better?
I see what you did there. I think Cam Newton was better.
I think Cam Newton was better too. I think that Cam Newton had a better career. But Cam came in.
I think Cam Newton could have been might as well. That quote I think would have fit Cam Newton.
Would have fit with Cam Newton a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
See,
I think
this is what I'm saying. It's the praise for Josh Allen is so over the top versus things I've actually seen him on field accomplish. It kind of frustrates me because I've seen other quarterbacks get knocked in areas where he get praised. Like for other quarterbacks, it's like, all right, he throw a lot of interceptions. That's the end of the conversation. That's it. That's where the conversation ends. Well, Josh Allen he throws a lot of interceptions, but that's because he, he's doing all these attempts. He got to because he trying to will his team to the. Come on, man. Like we got to play this type of game. It's just not a accurate representation of the way I've seen people, of the standards I feel like we hold NFL quarterbacks to. It's not an accurate representation. It's the regular NFL standard, and then it's the Josh Allen standard. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I mean, so the quote itself, like I said, I think that's extremely far-fetched, especially when you got people like Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, Joe Burrows. I think Joe Burrows is a hell of an athlete on top of being able to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, well, I think that is overblown, the whole greatest raw talent they've seen in the NFL. I don't know who. I have no idea. I don't know how many people they've seen in the NFL with a quote like that. But as far as Josh Allen, I don't believe. Listen, I wanted Josh Allen coming out of college. I did. I thought Josh Allen would be who Josh Allen is. And, it hasn't produced a Super Bowl. It hasn't.
What about Super Bowl trip?
No, nothing Super Bowl-ish has happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to make sure. I just had to ask.
Yeah, no, nothing. It's just been regular.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see him play the game, when I watch these games, I'm not looking at this game like, man, if Josh Allen would have played better, they would have won this game.
Aren't you saying that though? Like, aren't you though?
No, I'm not.
Like, kind of.
Not even a little bit, man. I've been saying, listen, in the last 3 playoff games, I just been like, man, he needs some more help. Like, the defense had to show up. This guy needed to catch this pass. Like, hey, man, I ain't looking at the quarterback like, no, you suck. It just ain't been the case.
So I watch these games, right?
Right.
And my takeaway, it is a mixed bag, but I can't say in their losses, their last let's say the last 3 playoff losses. I'll put
Right.
one on the defense. I'll
Mm-hmm.
put one on the offense.
Mm-hmm.
And then this most recent year against the Chiefs, I
Uh-huh.
would say that Josh Allen, he did his job good enough to where the game should have been closer. And the game came down to a final play and throws to the end zone. So to say that it should have been closer, that I feel like they should have at least been in the red zone and had an attempt for like a Josh Allen rush to the end zone. Like, all right, so here's how I'll say. This year when the Bills played the Chiefs, it was a
Mm-hmm.
play at the beginning of the fourth quarter where Josh Allen threw it 80 yards and hit Stephon Diggs in the chest, and he should have caught it over the shoulder, and he dropped
Mm-hmm.
it. I'll give you that all day. Dude dropped it. But from then on, like, he wasn't able to just be like, all right, well, I'm gonna make something happen. Whether I gotta throw it or I gotta run it, whatever I gotta do, I'm about to make this happen. We about to go down here. We about to get these first downs. We're gonna get these points. We're gonna go ahead and win this game. It didn't go down like that. And so, like, yeah, I saw the drop, but I also saw the whole rest of the game where, yeah, you did good, but like your pocket presence kind of messed you up. You got to be able to navigate. You can do all this running around when you want to take off and escape, but you can't really negotiate the pocket that much. Just another step here, so you can avoid the rush coming off the edge. Yeah, he had a wide open throw to the end zone at the end of the game, but he stood there like a statue waiting for a dude to come open and got pushed off the spot by the D tackle when he was trying to throw the ball. We would like. It's just other quarterbacks that would be critiqued very like, oh man, pocket presence. You got to be able to feel this on the backside. You know who playing over there. You got to take this step up early. We will critique these things with other quarterbacks, and I don't see that happening with Josh Allen. So I just feel like the fair counter argument to a lot of people, giving the guy too much praise.
All right. So I don't know. I guess in live time, I don't know. When I'm watching it, with all of that being true, you got to feel the back presence, all that, not taking that away. Huge on that when it comes to football fundamentals, right? Huge. It's hard for me, and I'm very critical of these things. When I watch these games, I'm not looking at this game thinking, like, man, if he'd have just stepped up, this would be a whole nother game right now. Like, man, this dude sucks. Like, he don't look back there. To me, he don't stand back there and look confused and don't know what he's doing. Like, he don't look out of touch with the game. It don't look like the moment's too big for him. Like, listen, man, everybody have a position and a job to do. And all I've been seeing for the last 3 playoff games is like your quarterback is putting your team in the position, the game. Mm-hmm. And the team is falling short. That's what I see. Like, and everything else, everything else with Josh Allen, there's a lot of, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if it's the praises. It's just that, they just look at him and be like, yeah, well, you got this defense, bro. Like, or the coaching has been atrocious. Game managing and everything, clock management, horrible. It ain't just been the defense. It ain't just been the offense. It's been the coaching too. But they won strong, positive thing. They won consistent thing. Been the player, their quarterback. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because all the way down to when Josh Allen was being drafted, that I had these critiques of the way he was being covered. Because like even dating back to when he was, we got the NFL draft coming up in 3 days. So let's touch on some old draft history. He came out the same year as Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Now, coming out of college, they was going to Lamar Jackson like, "Hey, bro, you think you might want to play wide receiver instead? You might want to, you kind of fast or whatever. You can play wide receiver if you wanted to." It got so bad to where Lamar Jackson didn't run a 40 at the combine or at his pro day because he ain't want his 40 time clock because he knew that teams would just ask more that he think about switching positions. We could use you in some packages. We could do this with you and do that with you. And Lamar didn't want that.
But I don't think all of this. I don't think this is an unfair thing though.
No, hold on.
I think Lamar still could be a wide receiver.
Okay. I'm not saying he can't. This is my thing. He had a better college career than Josh Allen. Why wasn't Josh Allen being asked to play tight end? Why he can't transition also? Lamar Jackson literally had better completion percentage, won the Heisman, like better stats all around, went to a better school, the whole thing. But for some reason, people look. It's all this. It's in the head.
Not some reason. It's because when you look at it, when you see it, you be like, "Oh, I would rather him be the quarterback." Yeah, the guy Buffalo. That's why. Yeah, you can give me these numbers and these stats and what it was all that, and that all sounds good when you're looking at the paper. But when we watch these games, you be like, "Oh, how many games have you been like, oh, they lost because this dude didn't play good?" For whatever reason. Lamar Jackson. That's the thing. When you look at you can't
a couple. But yeah, it's a couple for Lamar, but it's also a couple for Josh Allen. I'm not one of the people who watch the Bills game to be like another perfect game from Josh. Two interceptions and a fumble, and 250 yards. Hey, everybody else got to. I think they both could shoulder some blame for something.
All right, let's talk about fumbles and interceptions, right? Let's talk about it. So, because they both do them. Lamar and Josh Allen, they both fumble and throw the ball away, right? Here's the difference in their turnovers. When Lamar turns it over, like that's the end of the game. That ends the game. Josh's turnovers are typically in the earlier stages of the game. To when the game is on the line, he's put them in a position to win the game. Despite being done fumbled or thrown interceptions earlier on in the game. Lamar, like I said, on the other hand, his is later on in the game when it's on the line. Last minute drive, put the game away. Oh no, he threw it to the dude. He threw it to Newsom. That's the difference. And if you're just comparing, they both made turnovers, then okay. If that's going to be the end of the argument, is that they both made turnovers. Now, the impact of those turnovers, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've seen Josh Allen keep teams that the Bills should be blown out in games, like single-handedly. Like he must be playing for both teams at this point. Like
I'm not, but listen, I'm not saying them games haven't taken place, right? But in these playoff games that we're talking about,
I've seen it in the playoffs. Like that's what I'm saying. I just don't think Josh Allen deserves the type of cachet he done built up somehow.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're gonna have to leave that there because
and like I said, I gave you the comparison earlier. If they cover Cam Newton's career the same way they cover Josh Allen's career,
right?
Maybe I'll be silent on it.
Well, listen. No one other outside, it seemed like no, our family thought that Cam Newton, and I mean me, you, and Cam Newton. We the ones who think Cam Newton is Cam Newton.
Hey,
It's
Cam
odd to
Newton.
me. I have no idea.
So it's funny with Josh Allen. You know, he didn't have a stellar rookie season, whatever. You know, the second year they did make the playoffs, but he was still like, you know, a regular quarterback below league average. Then they give him Stephon Diggs, and boom, he takes off. He shoots to another stratosphere. Cool. Cam Newton came in the league so good when the rookie of the year, hurling over people. You know, his first 2 games were 400-yard passing games. They actually got rid of his top receiver. They let him go. He went on to Baltimore. Right? They tried to replace it with Kelvin Benjamin. They never moved in top flight wide receivers. Like, hey, we got to build this thing around Cam. We got Cam now. We got to make sure he got these weapons they need. Come on, man. The Cam never got that. And he still took his team to a Super Bowl within his first 5 years. So I just don't. And he never got the level of recognition ever that Josh Allen got. That Josh Allen continues to get to this day. So for me, it's just again, I feel like I'm bringing in balanced criticism.
Well, this is the thing. 2 things to be right. Like, I believe that Cam Newton deserves the same kind of cachet that Josh Allen has, but that not to say that I don't believe that Josh Allen deserves his cachet. Like, I think everything you said about Cam Newton, because I agree. I think he was left out for I don't know why. But I don't think that takes away from Josh Allen being Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think it's just a fundamental difference. And I just think I'm bringing some level-headedness to the situation. I think the Josh Allen stuff is like more people would. To most people will tell you he's the second best quarterback in the league right now. And I think that's like way over. I think he's probably fighting for 4th. Right? That's where I see Josh.
And if you think he had 4, and they said he had 2 spots ain't, that ain't like, this dude really at 8 and we saying he had 2.
Yeah, I guess not.
And 4 is arguably because he could be 3.
I'll say like he could be 4. If not 4, he's gonna be 5. See, that's so it is just slightly different. You're right.
Yeah, just that much. That's what I'm saying. Like I say, I agree with the Cam Newton thing. I really do. I just don't think it's away from Josh Allen. And I think because everyone else, and he don't even come off like everyone else praises him. And I think because everyone else gives him, they keep bringing him up. I think he pays the price for that. I think he gets this unfair criticism from those who think he's been, saw too much simply because other people aren't being talked about. So it's one of those things where I don't know, like again, it makes us be like, poor Josh. Like, I think you had to hear that.
Poor Josh. Again, that's what I'm saying. It's just the critiques that other people will get. Somehow he managed to slide off of. It's just like, ooh, he's not turnover prone. He's a gunslinger. He's not turnover prone. He's a gunslinger.
Right.
It's just, small things like that.
Yeah, I got you. Well, like I said, we're going to leave that there. It was an episode. Oh, I promise y'all an update on this whole. All right, so let's dive into this real quick before we get off of here.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's another form of sport, we're having a rap battle, people, and I mean it has heated up. So, quick recap: uh, first person shooter, J. Cole and Drake. Cole put a bar out there about Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drake being the big three. Kendrick Lamar felt like, nah, there ain't no big three. It's just a big me because he think he's better than the other two we just. So that went on. So we had what was the first one come out? It was, I think it was, yeah, like I said, it was first person shooter. So then here come Kendrick Lamar on Like That. So then Drake, no, then J. Cole said something back with a 7-minute drill, which he quickly apologized for, which was insane. And then Drake came out, and Drake just been going in ever since then. But since then, it's done grew a little further because now Rick Ross then got into it. He apparently don't like Drake. Kanye West then got into it. He apparently don't like Drake. Right? Mm-hmm. But with all that said, here's the theory that I got. Because in a Drake verse, a J. Cole verse, and the Kendrick Lamar verse, all of them refer to the game, the rap game itself, being so far away from being around rapping. They feel like there's no bars being placed out here. So I believe that they have orchestrated this little fake beef so that they could exercise these skills and make it more, bring it back, if you will, make it more popular. Instead of like, listen, nothing against all the new, but like, a lot of people, don't really have bars and they just lie catchy. You know what I mean? I think they trying to get everything to go back to rap. So I think that's why this whole little beef is going
on. I forget who said it, but they said it a while ago. But they said the death of rap music started with the first music video. And that's when it moved off of being purely about your skills as a rapper and, your lyricism and your delivery, your punchlines and all these things. And it became a little bit more about being flashy and the lifestyle and all this stuff, which is to a degree true. Because you see a lot of rappers who you're like, I don't think he really got that much talent as a rapper. But, he dripped in the, he got the shit on and he dripped out and he got the bitches on. So I think it's.
I don't know about that. Because listen, before the rap videos and all of that, you know what I'm saying? Hell, to all my old heads on here, y'all know we grew up on Too Short. Now listen, you ain't putting Short in a rap battle. Nobody. You're not. You ain't like, oh, Short out rap. Nobody. I know I ain't. Right? But Too Short would make 8-minute songs. And I'm telling you, he would rap the entire 8 minutes.
Oh, but now, suck my dick.
It was all of that. He must be nursery school rhymes, but he let it rip for 8 minutes. So even, I say that to say this, even then, and all he talked about was bitches and hoes and smoking weed and everything like that. So that's always been a part of the mystique, if you will, of rap. Like, even before we had videos playing all the time, when you did see these guys, you knew they was a rapper because, you know what I'm saying, they was dripped. Like LL used to be a part of. He used to have a Cuban link chain, or, you know what I'm saying, I Need Love, boy, it was raw. But that's what it was. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they still rap. I think, listen, like everything else, like sports, it's all evolved into this new age of where it's at. It's all about the wave, you know, and the vibe. And Drake and Kendrick and Cole, I believe, got together and decided, hey, you know what? We're going to all get into this little thing, but it's going to be about the bars. So you got to bring these bars because these diss tracks they've been putting out, hey, these boys are spitting.
Yeah, that is hard.
And Drake, this little light skinned demon, I don't know why they keep coming for him, but he's knocking everybody out the box. For my money, Drake is handing them out left and right. Bow, 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 bow. Everybody get it. Everybody. I mean, he is not playing.
I'll give you this. Just to finish off what I was about to say. So the other part of this is, like I said, the whole video thing was the start of the death of rap, and I kind of think this is where this is ultimately headed to. Is I think rap itself isn't. It's nowhere else for the product to go, right? We've gotten this, you know. The new genre of rap has pushed the envelope as far as the envelope will go. And with the way that media is being, distributed these days, it's becoming more of a niche. And specific, like, look what we're doing. We got our own streaming service. We're streaming our videos live. It becomes a, niche, what I like type of thing nowadays more than who's actually good. So, you'll hear a lot of people say they don't even listen to rap as much, or I watch podcasts, or I do this when I'm in the car. I don't even listen to music as much as I used to, and that's because it's not really the quality has deteriorated some. I mean, my dad was talking about it a few weeks ago. Like you're so hard pressed to find a rapper spit a whole 3 verses now. Like that used to be status quo back in the day. You get your 3 verses, you get a couple of hooks in there, and boom, there's your song. Now it's deteriorated to a quick thing. You'll find people putting out songs that's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Like what am I listening to? Like,
right.
Yeah, thanks for the appetizer. Where the rest of the song at, bro? And so with these things going on, I do feel like this is kind of like the last great hurrah for the rap game itself, because it's kind of just becoming like a pass-by thing. I think a lot of these people in the industry, they're even branching off from being known as rappers. Like, a lot of these dudes are known for more than one thing right now. It's hard for these guys to get paid. You'll see Snoop Dogg talking about how he got 1 billion streams on Spotify. He made 770K off 1 billion streams. That's not no money. What the fuck? You need a billion listens and you only get $70,000? Anybody about that? These guys are businessmen at the end of the day. They ain't gonna be here that much longer if there ain't no money to be made.
So I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's gonna become like a thing, like the way Blueface used it as a way to just get your name out initially, and then quickly transition to something else. Like, all right, boom, look, I'm a rapper, but I got this reality TV show. Boom, look, I'm a rapper. Come listen to my podcast.
I don't know. The money part is always iffy because everybody caps. Because you got half of the industry, you got half of these young dudes. They ain't seem to be. Let them tell it. They're not having a problem making no money. Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi Vert, all these dudes, because listen, it only take one hit for you to actually get to where you want to be at. And like all these young dudes, they out here because they got like some song and they get constantly paid over and over and over. It only takes one. And like all of them all got one. So listen, I hope that rap continues to grow and strive like it's been doing. I really do. I think as of right now, though, I think it's reached some of its greatest heights. Like it's everywhere. Like, because when I was growing up, it wasn't everywhere.
Right. It was taboo still.
And now it is so mainstream. Like, it's on every commercial. It's on commercials about going to the dentist. Like, it's everywhere.
What's the one about the charger? What's our favorite one about the outlet?
Oh my God, that's hey. And I thought that they made that song just for the charger. Oh no, that's a whole song. I'm in my car, got my Apple Music playing. It come on. I'm like, damn, they took that commercial and made it to a song. Yeah, but no, that ain't happening. But hey, so yeah, great show, bro.
Great show.
Sorry you couldn't be here.
Yeah, it's all right, man. You know, we're gonna still make it happen one way or another. I do like the way we just left the show off with this last little segment. I think we do need to start diversifying our portfolio a little bit more.
Well, you know, listen, as long as they keep this coming, we can keep it going because it's really growing. We got Chris Brown and Quavo beefing. Chris just released bars.
Yeah, he did.
On Quavo.
He did.
I was like, whoa. And the last bar about, you know, we know Homeboy did and the mess up part, everybody wish it was you.
Yeah.
I said, oh. So, yeah. We're going to have a lot to talk about. Everybody was watching, joined in. Appreciate y'all. We'll have another episode for y'all Wednesday. And we'll see what's going on, man. Y'all have a good evening.
Hey, appreciate y'all for joining in. Y'all, hey, like and subscribe on your way out.
Please and thank you. Please and thank you. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy.
All right.
See you later.
Thanks, y'all.